The role of the church. Well, the church is a huge institution, and it manifests on many levels in many ways, some very progressive and very helpful, and some, of course, very repressive and unhelpful. I think to the extent that those levels of the church that are functioning in a helpful way, I think they will be part of a progression of human spirituality and human evolution. For the rest of the church, we're going to have to grin and bear it. I don't know what else to say. Yes? Well, I think that's, I wouldn't characterize that as a danger as much as a, oh yes, sorry. I think the question was that he had heard that, or understood that there was a possible danger to meditators taking psychedelics, because then it would result in their expectation of having an altered state in their meditations. Was that correct? Creating a state to seek, to anticipate in their meditations. I think that it's a hard undertaking to enter into a meditative state or have the desire to enter into a meditative state without expecting some kind of state change. I think that's something that we're looking for when we go into meditation, or in most cases in taking psychedelics. There is a subtle difference between expecting or anticipating an altered state and feeling the need to escape the state that you're in, or fully accept and fully experience the actual reality that you are in, which I think is pretty mystical as it is if we open our eyes to what's really going on around us. I think it's a subtle difference, and I'm not sure that I would call that a problem. I think it's really the effort to take psychedelics, to meditate, to do anything one can do to evolve as part of our impulse to cultivate ourselves includes that anticipation. I don't think it's a bad thing. Yes? The question was to talk a little bit about the integration of the post-psychedelic experience, or taking the lessons of the psychedelic experience into your daily life, or into your meditations, or okay. Well, I think that if you have a useful psychedelic experience, on the other hand, if you have a useful meditative experience, it's going to be difficult to not bring that into your daily life. It's going to integrate itself into your daily life. I don't think that there's a particular method or strategy for doing that. I think it's part of the process itself, and it will manifest in your experience of your daily life without your having to do anything. That's my experience, and that's all I can go on. Thank you. Yes? I didn't hear the name of the person that advanced the theory. Rick Strassman. Okay, well, very respected psychedelic researcher. And if I'm paraphrasing your question right, it's correctly, it's that his idea is that you are actually, in deep meditation, you are manifesting some of the changes in the brain and the consciousness that you would also experience under psychedelics, so that you don't have to take psychedelics to have these experiences. Is that what you're saying? I totally agree. Yes? How do I see what happening again? Okay. Well, that's assuming that that we're expecting our national leaders and politicians at that level to make a difference in that evolution. I'm not necessarily convinced that that's where the change is coming from. You know, there's the old adage that change comes from the bottom up, and certainly in the area of psychedelics and understanding and a spread of the psychedelic perspective, that's almost definitely true. We're not going to be expecting Barack Obama, as much as I am so excited about his candidacy, for him to get up and start talking about how we should teach psychedelics in grade school, et cetera. So the psychedelic perspective will manifest despite who's occupying in the White House, and I hope it is Barack Obama, so anyway. Yes, in the back there. So you all heard the question then better than I did. That's great. I think what the questioner was asking is, when you take that jet plane, when you take psychedelics, are you leaving something behind? Is there some part of your biological process that is short-circuited or in some way left in a detrimental state as a result of that? I haven't noticed that. I mean, you could make that argument. There are people who use, or I guess arguably abuse psychedelics and look like they're having some problems with their feet on the ground and their biological system adapting to reality. And there are people who don't take psychedelic drugs who have those problems. So, I'm really not sure that there's been any convincing evidence that taking psychedelics somehow causes harm on any level. There are anecdotal stories about people jumping out of windows and things like that, but, people are doing that with or without psychedelics. So I'm not sure that I could say, I'm not ruling it out. I can't be in a position to do that, but I have no reason to believe that that's true. Sorry? Okay, well, I'm sure that that's true. There's a benefit, there's a cost-benefit scenario for every action or every thought, for that matter. So, what that is and whether it's been quantified or whether it's a cost to the extent that we would not want to go there, I have not seen that evidence. So, let's see, way in the back over there. I think that's a really important point. If I heard correctly, she was talking about the importance, the value of community to not only enhance but to make the psychedelic experience a valuable one and a useful one, not only to oneself but to the society around one. So I think that a lot of the questions about how do you integrate your experience in your psychedelic experience and how do you bring it into your daily life, a lot of that is about community, about how you share your set and setting and what lessons you can draw and share and learn from other people in your life. And we are social beings, and so it has to be a social process of evolution and enlightenment.